Somersworth has a large immigrant population. Hilariously, Somersworth was founded by Irish immigrants.
Oh,
It was originally called Sligo, which is County Sligo in Ireland. And the Irish came here to work. They settled, and then they ended up coming back for summers. And at some point, there was some clerical error. It changed it to Somersworth, and it was Summer. And at some point, somebody made a clerical error and changed it to Somers. And it's been that way ever since. But now it's just fascinating to me because New England is a lot of Irish immigrants, a lot of Irish and Italian immigrants. And they're coming here to take away immigrants.
it
Like,
yeah, that's absurd. And also, speaking of the the name changes and stuff, it's amazing how much just New England alone,
oh, yeah.
because of Ellis Island,
Yep.
how many clerical errors have gotten us to where we are.
Yeah,
You you won a special election over
I
in
did in June.
Somersworth.
Yeah.
Will you keep running again after?
I haven't decided yet.
It's a tough question, right?
Yeah. I feel like I have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any candidates for 2026 yet?
There are people who've committed to it. Right now I'm committed to it, but also I'm like, I'm not sure where I can be most useful. I was just kind of thrown in, this fall, there was meetings and committee stuff and delegation stuff. And now I just had my first few days in session, which was really interesting. There were long days. A lot of people just, you're not going to change anybody's mind on some of these bills.
Yeah.
And they go on and on and on. And it's all such grandstanding and just a lot of bullshit from all sides.
I always go up and testify for the cannabis bills.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for this session.
Right.
And every time I go, I know, looking at all the faces around the table, that nobody really cares
Nobody gives a shit.
what I have to say.
Yeah.
And then there's always Jim Gray's dumb face in the back looking at me like, why are you here? You already know I'm going to vote against you in anything that you stand for. So
which is mind-boggling to me because, and this is something that I'm talking a little bit about. I don't identify, like as a trans woman. I don't identify as a trans woman. That's just who I am.
Right.
I identify as an artist first, as a parent. I identify all these other things. Being a state legislator and a legislator and a politician is not something I identify as.
Sure.
And these people, their whole identity.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of those people have been up there for decades and they have no plans on stepping aside.
But that's their entire life.
Yeah.
On all sides.
Which is crazy to me.
And it's just like, I can talk politics all day long.
Yep.
But I love music. I love art. I love people. I love culture. So, there's all kinds of things that are so much more interesting to me than fucking politics.
I felt exactly the same when I ran. I was like, I know I'm passionate about politics, but this is not what I want to be. Like, even if I would have won, I probably would have only stayed maybe like a term or two.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want another career in this, you know, because like you said, so many people up there, they're not leaving. They're not making room for the next. And, I'm almost 48 and I need those 25, 30-year-olds getting those seats, not me.
And they are.
Yeah. Well, thankfully they are.
Yeah.
And I think they will even more so this year when we go for the election.
Yeah.
I'm really hopeful for New Hampshire. When I moved here, I said earlier, it was kind of blue. We had just kind of gone over the Democratic
it's
governors.
One time in the last 15, 20 years.
Well, I say kind of blue because we were more like purple because we were blue on the federal, but we were red at the state.
It's pretty Yankee.
But every 2 years, it's just gotten more and more red.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the people's will is not being taken care of right now.
Yeah. Well, no, I ran because I knew who was running for the Republican side, and It's funny. I've only been a Democrat for 11 months.
How's it feel?
They're really sweet.
Yeah.
And this guy is a carpetbagger. Moved here, a part of some churchy network Free Stater thing. Do you know about the Free Staters?
Yes.
It was originally called the Freetown movement.
Oh, I did not know that.
They went to Maine and they got kicked out of Maine.
I'm not surprised.
I love Maine.
Those people don't take any guff from anybody.
No, and they're like, I feel like Maine is the last holdout for New England stoic Yankees. You know, I grew up in New England, specifically New Hampshire, and Milton of all places. This guy moved here as a part of that from Texas. I think he's originally from Virginia. And you know, I remember during the election day, looking at all the license plates of the people that were supporting him.
Yeah,
not from New Hampshire.
What a surprise!
Right?
This place is famous for this.
Yeah. All the people that were out knocking on doors for me were state reps.
Yeah.
People running for Congress in New Hampshire. Some of them are carpetbaggers.
Yep. Yep.
Some of them are old, diehard, die-in-the-wool Yankees. Other people from other communities are surrounding me. A bunch of Somersworth people. You know, these guys are cosplaying government. Yeah. And I understand why some of them are doing it. They're doing it specifically for selfish reasons. Yep. You know, somebody like Jason Osborne makes thousands of dollars a year for his wife, who has, you know, some sort of homeschooling thing.
Yeah, those EFAs are probably going right to her pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what they literally are stealing taxpayer money.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the philosophy of it, but there's no oversight. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, no, they've completely put it outside of anybody's purview, which is if you're a taxpayer paying these obscene property taxes, how you don't have a sign at any intersection, you know, disapproving this is crazy to me. If you can go on Facebook, like I see so many, I mean, I can only imagine how many like pages Somersworth has, but Barrington, small city.
I actually run a page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have like 5.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we've got, I think 2 or 3.
Yeah. And there's this core group of people.
I've seen some of them
that are just
Barringtons.
The ignorance, the grandstanding for no reason.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Well, this is their whole identity.
It's dangerous for our communities.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And that, you know, this guy, I had to do something, and I've been threatening for a long time to run for mayor of Somersworth, just because, like, why not?
Right? You probably have a good
we have
shot
a
at
cool
that.
little city, you know, and it's very diverse, all spectrums. And you know, we fight amongst ourselves, and there's a lot of the same thing, ignorance and hatred. But the reality is, we're all working. We're all trying to pay our bills and trying to figure it out. And people sometimes dig into, I think, just my opinion, dig into their biases and their hatred and their fear and their self-loathing.
Yeah.
And project that onto other people. Because this is kind of how we're being trained.
Right.
Right. So I ran to ward off this Voldemort, you know. The things that they wrote about me were pretty horrible, you know, specifically Jason Osborne and the House Republicans. You know, it was weird. And I had Republican neighbors come up to me and give me the flyers that they were sending out and say, I'm not voting for this guy, I'm voting for you. I had libertarians calling me saying, I've never voted for a Democrat in my life. And I said, well, that's good, because I'm not really a Democrat. You know, I don't identify as a Democrat. It's just a party I joined because I vote mostly Democrat.
Yep.
I always have. I can't remember the last Republican I ever voted for. I voted for independents in the past. I think that's a testament to some people who actually, like, I agree with Republicans, but, you know, their tactics are awful. My flyers were, I believe in community, you know, reining in taxes, love, and empathy. Sorry to use that word. I hope it doesn't ban you from YouTube. And these people are sending out just hateful, ignorant, deep ideology.
Yeah.
Thinking that that's a winning tactic, and it's not going to be a winning tactic anymore.
I saved every one of their flyers from the 24 cycle.
Yeah.
I did throw
Against
away
you?
now, against me and others.
Yeah.
And I thought they were so unhinged, so crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being a professional graphic designer, I actually liked some of the layouts. And I was like, if you took some of the hate out of here, and you put a little bit more love, this could actually reach people.
Well, the funny thing is, they first started with a PDF thing they sent out, and of course, Republicans send it right to me.
Yeah, of course.
And there was a website that they created. It's gone now, unfortunately. It was hilarious. They used a picture of me as Hedwig and Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I did it in New York. All decked out, big, beautiful wig. Like, it was an awesome show, but I did it 20 years ago.
Oh.
And then they used a picture of me when I had a big old beard and I was getting my colonoscopy. I took a selfie, and they put them together, and they put it through AI and made me look really good. They made my teeth look good.
Oh, those filters can really.
I was like, wow, I look good. Thank you. They put this website up, and literally people were like, this is kind of a positive website. Billy works for New Hampshire Outright and, supports gay youth. And I'm like, yeah, all that stuff's true. And then there was other awful things. I ended up raising more than enough money to pay for everything for my campaign because of that website.
That's incredible. I remember when you did run for the special election last year, and everybody on our side just, kept on sending emails like, let's help Billy out. Let's get Billy, elected.
Yep.
And then you got it, and it did work.
I won by 11% of the vote.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Somersworth is such a beautiful town.
It is.
I love going over there.
Yep.
And I don't think it's like underrated by any chance, but like it's kind of like just nestled between the Rochester and Dover and
the Berwicks.
Yeah.
It's right there on the river.
It's just such a great
place. I
place.
can literally walk to my recreational weed store. Like, it's right over the border, right along the Green Mile. Do you know about the Green Mile?
I do. Yep. I do. I'm a big fan of it as well.
Same.
I always go up towards the Sanford area.
Yeah.
To me, that's but Berwick's good too.
Berwick's great.
Yeah.
Berwick still has some real hardcore Yankees over there.
It's such a wonderful place for sure.
Yeah.
One day, I don't know if I'll ever move over there, but it's so tempting just to go over there.
It's a nice, I think it's the smallest city, incorporated city, I think it is, in New Hampshire.
Okay. I don't know how many people are over
11,000 people.
Okay. Wow. It's slightly bigger than Barrington.
Yeah. 10 square miles.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah. I also represent Rollinsford.
Okay.
Which is another, reminds me a lot of Barrington in a way, because they're still farming over there, and
my cousin lives over there,
town.
and it's gorgeous to go over that way. So,
and we got those mills too. That we have a mill in Somersworth that still needs to be developed, but the Rollinsford mills is awesome.
I don't think I've seen the mills in Somersworth, but the mills in Gonick and
it's the same mill right along the Salmon Falls River.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny because I grew up in Milton, which has the 3 ponds that feeds the Salmon Falls River.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Connecticut.
Right.
So just down the road.
Yeah.
And coming here to New Hampshire.
Connecticut Yankee.
Yeah. I just went over my 8-year mark here in New Hampshire. And at first, it was a little like rural for me.
Yeah.
But now,
especially out here.
Yeah. I've always lived in the city.
Yeah.
I lived in Albuquerque. I lived in Augusta, Georgia.
I lived in Midtown Manhattan. I lived in the South Bronx, the poorest congressional district in the country. Yeah.
And coming out here, like, I've never had a well before. Never. And so
how's your water? You get hard water? Or?
Yeah, I always treat it. I'm on it with that.
I grew up with the lake. We had a well right in the yard, and
I feel bad for, speaking of wells right now, New Hampshire, I don't know if we're still in drought condition. I think
we've been in a drought for a long time.
Yeah. And I've started
a decade or more.
Like 6 months ago, people were posting like my well's dry and stuff like that. And that's a very serious issue.
Yep.
And my wife's always telling me, she's like, oh, I miss city water. And I'm
Yeah.
like, our town needs a triple in size before you even get
Yeah.
somebody to think about putting pipes in.
It's so huge.
Yeah.
It's so huge. New York has probably the best water I've ever had. That's where all the best bagels are.
Really?
Well,
Oh, bagels, I believe.
Well, that's the water that comes down from upstate New York.
I always figured the Rockies in Colorado would have the cleanest water.
I think it's New York City.
It's those Coors commercials that used to sell me.
That's what it is. Yeah. Just have a New York bagel. That'll prove how good the water is.
I used to love going over to New York. When I was a teenager. I said this before, so I apologize for anybody that's listening to this over and over again. But I was a hairdresser before I went into the Air Force.
Get out of town.
And so in high school, I went to a trade school and I was in hairdressing. I was the first male to graduate from the program. And so we'd always have to go.
Who the fuck are you?
I have a little bit of everything.
That's amazing.
This is the problem with ADHD because I bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
And I always feel this way. I'm given, like, if I'm super lucky, like 80 years on this planet.
Yeah.
How many things can I do?
Yeah.
In 80 years?
Isn't that the point of living?
I want to experience everything.
Yeah.
I've traveled around the world multiple times.
Right.
I've lived all over the place.
Well, the Air Force must have been great for you then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Every 2 years, they were like, hey, you want to do something new? I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Who told you?
Yeah.
So to me, traveling around New England as a whole, coming back here after being gone for 25 years, has just been so incredible.
It's changed a lot.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So much, but it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know if I'll die here or not, but I'll at least spend probably my 50s here.
I think, I've been in New Hampshire a long time and despite our weird political issues, which is a real problem right now, there's something, and this is kind of what I've been writing on. People have forgotten what being a stoic Yankee means.
Yeah.
And I've lived all over the country. I've been to every single state, 48 states, except for Alaska and Hawaii. I was on tour for a long, long time, off and on for like 20 years. I met a lot of people, and pretty much everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Same hateful people are on the West Coast as they are on the East Coast,
Dead on about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I found that people really love New Englanders, because that independence, especially in New Hampshire, because New Hampshire politically, the largest voting block is undeclared.
Yeah.
The next is Republican and the Democrat and then everybody else. And that says something. And they passed laws against running or registering as an independent.
Yeah, some of those voter suppression laws are pretty wild coming out of New Hampshire, and we obviously have some still to get through this session.
I was a selectman for the last 5 years in Somersworth, which is different in a city than it is in a town. Right?
Oh, I bet.
Because a city, we have a mayor, we have council. A selectman is for voting, right, on election day. So I would be, I would be at the checklist. I would check people in. I was a moderator. I learned a lot. It was really eye-opening. My first time working on election day was 2020.
Oh, this is very recent then.
Yeah. During lockdown.
That was a nightmare.
It was a trip. And it was humbling and really exciting and scary at the same time because I didn't know what I was going to deal with. But I did every election after that. And I just did my last one. I didn't work on my election day. And I could have.
Yeah.
But there were just certain things I wouldn't be able to do. But I'm like, I don't want to give them anything.
Did you hold a sign?
Oh, I stood out front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stood out front and held a sign. We went all over the city. It was also the hottest day of the year, by the way, June 24th. It was 105 degrees in front of City Hall at lunchtime.
It did get pretty hot.
It was brutal. But I watched as, and Somersworth has a really great, our city clerk is awesome, Kristen. So smart, young, and really, I don't want to say aggressive, but like, I think aggressive is good. Like, she's just not going to take any shit.
Yeah.
But also she believes in the process. She loves Somersworth. And I learned a lot about the different voting things that they were passing because I just wasn't seeing the issue with all these bills. And like, there's no fraud. And if there is, we find it pretty quickly. And now, like specifically like the rule of, if I know you, Adam, right? We're neighbors. I've known you for years. I don't need to see your ID.
Right. You're good.
Why do I need to see your ID if I know you? For a family.
Right.
It doesn't, these fucking Republicans talk about common sense. There is no common sense, by the way, because if common sense was common, it would be common.
Right.
Common sense would tell me and them, like, this is my mother. I don't need to see her fucking ID.
Right. Right.
But they passed a law saying that you have to now have, prove your citizenship. You have to prove who you are and where, like, it's all right there in the voter rolls. It's such a perfect system that they are complicating it. They're making it more repressive. They're making it harder because they don't want people to vote against them. And they will do everything possible to stop you from voting.
Which is amazing to me because I don't know how they know which side is going to vote less, right? It's a gamble. And for some reason, they think Democrats are less passionate than Republicans, which is kind of wild to me. I've stood up and held signs and watched everybody on all the elections.
Right.
I usually go up there and do that.
Sure.
And it's crazy to me that anybody would want more voter suppression. And that's not to say, like, I agree, like, everybody has an ID.
Sure.
That ID should be good enough to prove that you're a citizen.
Yes.
But I also believe all those IDs should be given for free.
I agree with you.
Because poll taxes are terrible.
Yep.
And I always
exactly
see, like,
what it is.
Well, how expensive is an ID? It's $10. That's still $10 that somebody has to put out,
right,
regardless whether they need it or not.
It's a very privileged point of view saying, well, it's only $10.
Right.
Have you ever slept in your car?
Wow.
Have you ever gone without a meal?
Yeah, and most of those people have not.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about dollars and cents when you have no real clue.
Right.
It's not inclusive in a community. Ultimately, we're in a city of 11,000 people.
Yeah.
Very, very small. We're in a state of 1.4 million people.
Which is so small.
It's tiny. We are literally neighbors. We're friends. We're family.
Yeah.
We're coworkers. But we have isolated ourselves in our little clans and our little tribes, right? Tribalism.
Yep.
And as someone who's been around the world and probably literally in the middle of tribes, you see that tribal thinking is dangerous.
It certainly can be. I mean, if it's isolated, outside of survival,
Yeah.
But,
well, no. Yeah. Survival is different. I'm talking about. When it comes to things like this, is like the tribal mentality. Maybe that's not the right term. Culty mentality, toxic culty mentality.
I love telling this story, and I think it covers that very well. I was standing in line. It was the last election, 24. The line was just getting started to go in to vote. And this lady comes into the line and she's wearing a garbage bag. She's got her hair done up. She's got her makeup dialed in. She's bouncing around. She's so happy. She's telling everybody around her that Biden called her garbage the night before because I guess he had said something along the lines like Trump supporters are garbage, whatever that was, right?
Right.
And she took it and made it her personality and decided to be garbage. So much to the point where she put a red ribbon on the back, a big old like Christmas bow on the back of her bag. And she just needed everybody to know. And to me, that was the moment I realized this is not politics. No. This is the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is
you're ringing a bell.
Yeah.
You're ringing a bell.
And that's exactly what this is.
First of all, I want to party with this girl.
I hope that she watches this. Hey, garbage bag lady, if you watch
this, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I have no hate in my heart for anyone.
Sure.
I really don't. Because hate is about me and not about the other person.
Well, hate makes you old fast.
Yeah.
It makes you cranky.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
It's too, Martin Luther King said it. Hate is too much of a burden. I choose love, and I will always choose love. I will always choose kindness. That doesn't mean I'm not going to call you a prick.
Sure.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to call you an asshole. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get angry at you and criticize you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hate you because that is the worst. But when you Patriots, go Pats, big football fan. I saw this, a big Red Sox fan. My dad used to take me, who was also in the Air Force. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
He used to take me to ball games at Fenway Park. I actually met Ted Williams when I was 6.
Wow.
I had no idea who he was.
Sure, not at that point. Yeah.
In Portland, Maine, I think it was. But I saw Pete Rose play. I saw Reggie Jackson. I like the greats.
Yeah.
I was also a Yankees fan because my biological father lived in New York City. I was also a Houston Oilers fan because my dad then lived in. Yeah. Well, you know, I hate the player or love the player, hate the game, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What ended up happening was I wasn't allowed to like the Yankees, even though they were the greatest franchise baseball team in history. They are. You can't deny that. It's an incredible history.
My only regret is never being inside the stadium.
Sure.
I've seen them play. I've seen Yankees versus the Sox because I used to go to Fenway all the time.
Yep.
I saw Bo Jackson when he was first brought up, Phil Plantier, all that.
I saw the last day game at Yankee Stadium. I lived in the Bronx, and we could literally walk there. They tore it down. Yeah, it was amazing. What a great day! It was such a great day. It was an exhibition game, I think, too.
Yeah.
But I noticed during the 2004 season, the hatred for the Yankees and Yankee fans. Like, people wanted to kill Yankee fans,
which is
like,
so crazy.
And the same with the Yankee, fans about the Reds. Like, you do realize, like, you're not on the team, right?
Yeah. They're just players, man. They're just playing for money. And just take it easy.
Well, they're playing for money, and they're getting your money. You're being duped into thinking that you actually make a difference. I mean, you kind of do with the game, of course, but their whole identity and personality was based on this. They're called fans, which is short for fanatics.
Right.
And that mentality has pushed its way into every aspect of our lives now.
Yeah.
And that was done on purpose, specifically to make money.
Yep.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars. I refuse to hate other teams. There are teams where I'm like, I don't like the coach. I don't like the players. I have an issue with, was it Cowers, Steelers with Roethlisberger, just because he was kind of a piece of shit. And I know my Pittsburgh friends are like, Billy, shut up.
Well, there's plenty of people that probably fit that description.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Hernandez, right. The Patriots, like.
And then the guy, Ray, the one that
just got,
like, oh my God.
These are bad dudes.
Yeah. And a lot of people will say, well, they probably just have CTE. Like, no, those are bad people that happen to get CTE.
Yeah. And they got worse.
They got caught. Yeah.
But that has worked its way into our politics.
Yeah. Which is so dangerous. Lives are on the line, whether you can heat your house, through the winter, or feed your family, or whatever
afford
that
your property
is.
taxes,
all of that. Yeah. And it's so dangerous when you're, you got your pom-poms out and you're rooting for the guy that's going to take it all away. That's insanity.
It is insanity.
So
the leopards eating their face, I think, is eating their own face.
One of my favorite subreddits.
Same. Yeah.
Those leopards are fat, right?
Yeah, now. I like the cringe TikToks. Cringe TikToks. You ever see that one? Subreddit.
I used to be. Oh no, it's a subreddit.
It's a subreddit. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I used to be on TikTok, but they deleted my account, so I never went back.
Oh yeah, I just joined TikTok a few years ago.
Really?
A year ago. Yeah.
Can I just get your opinion on what you feel about the TikTok being in U.S. hands?
Whatever.
It's
all a shell game.
Do you think
it's all a shell game? How
do you think it'll? Well, do you use TikTok to kind of get your message out?
A little bit. I don't have like a big following or anything.
Okay.
I mostly enjoy the stuff my friends post. Most of the things I do online are like cat videos and
the good stuff.
Good stuff. Art, music. I definitely follow politics pretty close.
Yeah.
But again, it's not my identity. It's a small part of my identity. I wouldn't say maybe not a small part, but it's not.
Yeah, as a state rep, I guess it can't be too small. But
I've always been that way. I'm an old punk rocker, so I've always been fighting the system.
I read your website, I believe, or your profile, and you say you are a gig worker and you're a musician
Yep.
and all that. How does like that stuff get affected right now while you're sitting in session? Because you're in session for 6 months and it's pretty much a full-time job.
I mean, it's not.
No?
It's a lot. I do what I can to keep up with it. I'm having a problem now because they changed I'm on the labor committee. They changed the days to Tuesdays. And one of my jobs is actually a W-2 part-time,
Okay.
25 hours a week. And I schedule everything around it. And then I missed the email, my bad, a month before saying, oh, we changed it to Tuesdays. Now I can't. Tuesdays is the day I'm in the office.
Oh, no.
Right. It's a hybrid job. Hilariously enough, one of the bills put forth was to protect remote workers. But as a gig worker, I'm able to like work my schedule. It makes it difficult because I have to turn things down.
Yeah.
So I'm literally taking food out of my mouth and heat out of my heating oil out of my tank. But I felt like, again, it was important for me to run. And I think I represent a section of the working class that is underrepresented, gig workers.
Yeah.
And I've been 1099 when it was I-9.
And gig workers are a huge part of our economy.
Large part of the economy.
Anybody that's ordering DoorDash, Uber, any of these services.
Yeah. Most of my work is like some performing. I used to be a full-time performer. COVID kind of killed that. I could go back to it, but like I don't want to move back to New York. I don't want to go back on the road.
That's a commitment.
It's just being on the road is really lonely, and it's not enough. Like if I'm on the road with my own work, here we go. Right. But mostly it's support work, like technical directors, and I've been a production manager, I'm a professional audio engineer, live stuff. Lighting designer as well. So I'm a lighting designer for Baroque Academy. I'm the concert engineer for Seacoast Rep, and I do a bunch of lighting and sound for the dance hall in Kittery. You know, I bounce around to all those things. So it makes it, you know, the good thing is a lot of that's at night, so I can spend my day doing my day job and legislating and going to sessions. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm really tired of gig work. You know, I'm not getting any younger. And the work's getting harder
and it's probably
to get.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so many people flooding the market with unemployment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have I always think of Liam Neeson. I have a very special set of skills.
Yeah, I always say that to my kids.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a very special set of skills. Like I'm sitting in the state house in the chamber, and like the sound sucks. I wish they would just let me. Just give me like 4 hours. I'll fix the sound. One of the monitors went out, telling us, you know, what the votes were. All the monitors went out at one point. Oh my
God, that would trigger me.
I was definitely triggered. I was like,
I would get all my tools out and be like, everybody move aside. I'm fixing this.
Like literally, like I can fix this. Just give me a minute. I said, it's a bunch of TV monitors. Like how hard? Get out of the way. Let me fix this.
Yeah, yeah.
It took them a minute, but they fixed it. But yeah, it's a balance. You know, I left a committee last week after an executive meeting, which is when, you know, we have hearings. So we hear we hear what the bill is, people testify, and then we move on to the next bill, and then we have executive meeting, which is when we vote on whether it's ought to pass or inexpedient, or, you know, we want to table it or whatever it is.
Yep.
And that was Tuesday. It was just in the morning.
Oh.
So I was like, I have to be in Portsmouth for 12:30, and then I have to be in the office for the rest of the day. I can only be there for the executive council meeting. And this one of the Free State Republicans, older guy, retired. They're all retired.
Yeah.
They're all retired or independently wealthy and can do whatever the hell they want. I was leaving, and I said, see you later. And he's like, oh, where are you going? Why are you leaving? We have a full day. Like, some of us actually have to work for a living.
Right.
And he's like,
Speaking of that, so I was scrolling Facebook,
Sorry to
2
hear
days
that.
ago. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't really use social media that
Sure.
much anymore.
Yeah.
I usually just look for like Messenger or something like that.
I'm a social media whore, so
I used to be,
Yeah.
and I just realized how toxic it was.
it is toxic.
And so, I mean, even if you're on Facebook, they'll show you 1 or 2 posts from your friends, and then the rest is just ads.
Yep.
So to
Yep.
me, there's no reason to even be on
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Right? But I was scrolling through, and one of the posts I saw was from John Kuiper, because he's a friend of mine.
Sure.
And it was talking about the pay. I mean, so I made a video on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was like, you know,
You're
what?
gonna send that to me. I'd like.
I
I'm
was like,
interested.
this is a really good topic.
Yeah.
And so for those that don't know, John Kuiper sued the state in
Yes, I know.
October 2025,
So ballsy.
and to get representatives, senators,
Yeah.
you know, an actual payment. And
Yeah.
then so I went through, because I was making a video, and I realized New Hampshire is the only state
Yep.
that doesn't pay
Yep.
anything. Like the only other one is New
Not
Mexico.
even minimum wage.
Right. New Mexico is 0,
Right.
but they pay per diem. New Hampshire does not.
Yeah.
They
We get
pay-
mileage.
Yeah, you
That's-
get mileage
and
for
$100 a
60
year.
Yeah, 67 cents a mile is
Yeah.
that's pegged at the federal rate.
Right.
And then that's it. So $100 plus mileage. Thanks for your service, kind of way, you know. And
who can do that? Who can take the middle of the week? No teacher can.
no,
No carpenter can.
No.
No cop. No firefighter. No real working people can do that.
Yeah.
It's only independently wealthy and retired people and some gig workers.
Yeah.
That's it. That is not a citizen government.
Yeah.
My proposal,
Oh, I want to hear this.
you want to pay your legislators? Fine. We knock it down to 6 senators, 24 state reps, no executive council, and bring back the referendum vote.
Oh,
You want to talk about citizen government,
that's an interesting way to go.
right? I've been labeled the most extreme Democrat to ever run in the state of New Hampshire by Jason Osborne, and that's
Really?
my extreme point of view.
I don't know how I feel about bringing our representation down. Right now, 1 rep represents about 3,000 people.
Right, correct.
Right. So I know that 400 people is a lot of people to pay.
But it's also too many. It's the 3rd largest legislative body in the world
Right.
for 1.44 million people, Adam.
But at the same time, if we can give private schools $51.6 million per year, and we don't even care about, you know, interest and dividend taxes, the Republicans,
They're gone. That's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
$150 million a year in tax revenue.
The Republicans did the budget last year. AOT signs it. We're negative $67 million out of a cushion of $202 million that we're just sitting there.
Yep.
And we're just throwing it away.
Yeah.
And we're not even helping people.
They want to dismantle our government.
They are.
New Hampshire and Minnesota are being used to see how they can do it on a national level.
Yeah.
And people don't know this, that's what they're doing in New Hampshire. This is from a very high level of world powers trying to manipulate our government quietly. And it's not quiet anymore because now our state is in a deficit and our property taxes keep going up, and they're saying, oh, it's local control. We don't live in a local control. We live in a Dillon rule state.
Yeah.
That means the state decides what municipalities can do, what towns can do. And these people are going to do everything they can to dismantle state government.
People should be very scared of this.
They're doing it. They're literally doing it as our schools cut more and more of their budgets. Like, I have my own issues with public education.
Mm-hmm.
It failed me as a student. I never finished school because it completely failed me. The school system in Milton was terrible back in the,
I can see that.
Back in the 80s. It was bad.
Yeah.
They did everything they could, but again, they couldn't pay for it. And this state, for some reason, the leaders in this state, they're so much more interested in retaining power and creating independent wealth for themselves that they won't even talk about progressive taxes. They won't talk about an income tax. They won't talk about a sales tax or some kind, like just talk about a consumption tax or something other than property taxes. Why is it property taxes? Because that they know property owners are going to make a stink,
well, you're locked in.
You're locked in. There's nothing you can do.
It? I mean, somebody else is just going to have to buy it.
And it's not just the landowners. I'm a property owner. I own a house in Somersworth.
Right.
It's not just us.
It's everybody.
It affects everybody.
Yeah.
Renters, people on leases. We all pay for it. It is the most unrepresented tax in this country, I think. And what I know about taxes, which is not a hell of a lot, but it's enough to know that my property taxes, one of the reasons I ran, because my property taxes, since we moved there, Somersworth, our first house, by the way, in 2019, our property taxes have doubled.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's almost doubled in just 8 years.
Like $8,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like what? For what? What am I paying for?
Yeah. We don't get trash pickup. We don't get anything. We get our roads plowed. So I'm thankful for that. But beyond that, there's not much. Not just for my town, but for anybody in New Hampshire across the board. People aren't getting what they're paying for.
Well, they are.
Well, yeah, okay, that's true.
Because you're voting for this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the answers are, but I'm willing to sit down and talk about it and try to figure it out. But this is what the Republicans and the Democrats use as, look, see, property taxes. This is what, your taxes keep going up to pay for schools.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing we have to pay for schools. They won't legalize cannabis. Cannabis would give us $20-30 million a year in tax revenue.
Yeah, I mean it's not a huge amount, but it'll
still fill a gap.
It's an amount, right? Like
they cut $25-30 million out of the education budget.
Yeah, and I want to sit on the cannabis topic just for a second because a lot of people don't realize. I read this on Facebook and Reddit, of course, be like, oh, you goddamn stoners, you potheads.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged. I don't want to put people in prison or jail or I don't want people being arrested, having to hire lawyers, getting
There's
fines.
good money in that.
Hey, there's really good
money in the correction system.
Like there's so many positives to legalizing weed. And the only like rebuttal to that I ever hear is like, well, I don't want my town smelling like weed everywhere I go.
That is not.
Nobody's doing that.
But
Nobody's
also,
gonna sit at the intersections smoking like.
They're already doing it. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, nobody's.
But what? I don't want this. Not in my backyard.
Yeah,
like
these
shut the fuck up.
Are crazy. I think that we should be looking for revenue under every rock. We should be reinstituting the interest and dividends tax.
Yep.
We should absolutely be legalizing cannabis, not at the state stores.
No,
I think that is horrible.
No,
the state should not be in the business of doing that.
The state should not be in the business of business. They should not have a monopoly on any commerce. Any capitalist would be against the state liquor stores. Any capitalist would be against a state cannabis store. It's absolute dog shit.
Yep.
And anyone who's an independent business person, which is really struggling now, would and should be against it completely.
Absolutely.
Any kind of state control. All the trans bills they're passing and book bans and all this bullshit like, oh, we got to protect our children. We got to protect our children. You don't give a fuck about children.
No.
The number one killer in this country under 18 years old is guns. Like, where's your outrage? Like, and I love guns. I mean, I grew up hunting here in Barrington. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Our guns were right next to our chainsaws and our hammers because it was just another tool.
Right.
We literally used guns to hunt to feed ourselves.
And I think that's fine. I think what they're against and what they're for is just so mind-numbing sometimes. And then the reasoning behind it, everybody save the kids, pretend like nobody cares about the kids. It's never about the kids. But it's that soft spot, It's the same thing if you said, well, what about the kittens?
Right.
Like, what about them?
Well, they always fall back on that. And ultimately, the state is now in the business of controlling our lives. They want to control every aspect of our lives. They want to control what's in our pants. They want to control what's in our heads. They want us to live by their theocratic rules.
Yeah.
And this country was founded on anti-theocracy. It says it in our founding documents. There's a separation between church and state. You can't have a church controlling the state. And these people, Look, I love me Jesus. I love me some Jesus.
Sure.
You know, big fan. His followers, not so much.
Right.
You know, the theocratic rules that these arbitrary rules that these people come up with based on monks who came up with it in caves. Like these people, when they wrote the Bible, way back then, they couldn't do basic math. They didn't have indoor plumbing. You know, like, I'm sorry, you know, I believe in the philosophies and all that, but I'm not going to base my life on some nutbag who didn't bathe themselves living in a cave.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Like, it's crazy to me. I look at the Bible the same way as I look at Shakespeare. You know, there are stories. Aesop's Fables is another great example of, you know, their morality tales, and they tell us to love one another and take care of each other and look out for one another. I go back to the Yankee Stoicism because I grew up in Milton, and I remember, you know, a New Hampshire Yankee is, leave me the fuck alone. I will leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah. No, it is.
But if you need my help, let me know.
Absolutely.
You want to borrow my ladder? I got you.
Two of my oldest kids here, they grew up in Georgia. And so even though both parents are from Connecticut, they grew up in Georgia, and then
Georgia's great.
Oh, Georgia's
beautiful.
Love Georgia. I spent 7.5 years there, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, because they're still learning New England.
Yeah.
And I told them when they first got here, New Englanders mind their own fucking business, and not just a little bit.
Yeah.
We are really good at minding our business.
Yeah.
I'll wave to my neighbor when I go get my mail.
Yep.
I'll say hello if somebody approaches me.
Yep.
If they need help, I'm pulling over and I'm going to help them.
Yeah.
But I mind my business.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in everybody else's business. Matter of fact, it's easier on me mentally if I don't have to invest all that time and energy to know what you're doing.
It just boggles my mind that these people, and this is not a NIMBY thing. Like, when you move into somebody's house, right? So you're a roommate.
Yeah.
Right. This is your room. We have a shared bathroom. You don't move into that house and decide we're going to redo the whole house.
Oh no, that's how you get kicked out.
That's how you get kicked out. You move there because you want to. You're like, oh, it's a cool place. These people, I vibe with them. You know, these people that are running our state right now. Not including Aod. Aod grew up here and was born here. But just the Jason Osborne, again, the House Majority Leader, he is not from here. He is from Ohio.
Yeah.
He moved here as a part of the Free State movement on his daddy's money. You know, this guy's never worked a job in his life. He's never actually had to get his hands dirty. I guarantee you he doesn't have any calluses. He doesn't have any scars.
Oh, so if I shake his hand, that's probably
it's going to be nice and soft. You know, I got broken fingers.
Ask him what moisturizer he's using.
Right? These people move here and they're going to tell us how we're going to live our lives. And I take issue. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with as far as personal decisions. But who am I to tell you what you can and can't do? Who am I to tell you what you can and can't put in your body? That is yours. That we are given that right if we believe in God. It's a God-given right to body autonomy. And it's written in our Constitution, our federal Constitution, 14th Amendment, the right to privacy, the right for the government to stay out of our lives.
Yeah.
The government is there to protect us as a society. They are there to protect our rights. And these people coming in saying, okay, well, we're going to get rid of abortion. We're going to get rid of gay rights. We're going to get rid of transgender rights. We're going to tell you what you can. And the hilarious thing is we're going to tell you what you can and can't read in school because, you know, it's dangerous material for children, but we're not going to send our own kids to public school. We're going to take your tax money and, I don't know, go to Disney World and have them read a workbook and not socialize with other people. But you're not allowed to socialize the way you know, the way you feel you can. You know, we're going to make sure that you can't get that queer looking haircut. We're going to make sure that you can't, you know, decide, you know, I don't want to be called this name anymore. I want to be called this.
Yeah.
It's insane.
As a New Englander, like everything you just mentioned, I couldn't even imagine caring even a little bit,
right.
Whatever somebody else is doing, unless it affects me. Like
Right.
if you're coming over and you're doing something in my yard and or trying to break
come in my yard,
like,
see what happens.
yeah, right, right. I just, how much time do these people have on their hands? And the people that you're talking about, they've been paid to do this.
Yes.
And this is, oh, I don't use this word very often, but insurgency in our state.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
because the Free State Project is an insurgency.
It is. Yep.
It is an invasion.
It is an invasion.
Wow, they use that word a lot.
They do.
And it's not in the same
I'm
vein.
going to use that at the State House, honey.
Yeah, right? But that's exactly what it is.
Oh, that's good.
What, 20 years ago, 25 years
It's like
ago?
20 years ago, yeah.
Right? They were like, hey, come on in. We got you money. We'll help you move. We'll help you get into the government.
Yeah, there's 6,500 of them. Then they fucking hate me, I'll tell you.
Oh, I bet. I haven't met them, so I don't know how they feel.
Well, I also, they don't realize how deep my roots are in this state, and how connected I really am.
How do you think that as a state we go past them eventually?
Yes.
Like when do people, because even like all the way to yesterday, there's still people asking questions about the Free State Project, and we don't need to dive into it too
Well,
far,
I think that my election helped bring the whole conversation forward. I brought it up immediately. Because it, reminds me of the John Birch Society, all these different batshit, right-wing, power-hungry, wealthy people that want to control other people. This is nothing new. They are not original. They are inauthentic. They don't bring anything real to the table. The problem I have, and this is with my philosophies and the way I look at life, is I agree with a lot of libertarian philosophy or whatever, equal rights, independence, individualism, but I guess I'd be more like a social libertarian, because I also believe in taking care of people in our community. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I know growing up with a single mom and 5 kids in the 70s and 80s, we needed help. We got the government cheese. Yep. We got the evaporated milk.
Yeah, we did too.
We had neighbors bringing us food and taking care of us and helping stack wood, because I grew up in a house that's how we heated our home, was wood. I just wish. I think that social media has brainwashed us all.
Well, it's done a couple things. One, it has brainwashed us.
Yeah.
But it's also allowed the conversation to come up quicker.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Because in an instant you can be informed on something, probably misinformed. But if you have critical thinking skills and you can cross-reference with a few other things,
people don't.
You might be able to come up with the basis of the truth.
Well, and that's the critical thinking is the opposite of being indoctrinated.
That's true.
Indoctrinated means that you don't critically think, that this is just the way things are.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how many times I've been accused of being indoctrinated. Why? Because I'm transgender? Really? I am the most critical person there is. When I leave the house, I'm like, what do I wear? And I criticize my own body and I criticize my own look. And I think I'm not so open-minded that my brain falls out, but I'm really open-minded. And again, like, the libertarian ideas are they're correct in so many ways, but for some reason, this theocratic mentality has invaded the libertarians, and they should, with all of their might, kick these fucking people out.
It's hard. It's hard to kick them out for some reason.
But you're not a libertarian. You are not a libertarian. I will say it to their faces. You're not a libertarian. You want to control what other people do.
Yep.
I agree with you. The state should stay the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
But the problem is we are communities of people. Yeah. We are families, right? We're coworkers. So we need some sort of union. And I don't mean like a labor union, but that's the mentality. We need some sort of social construct to look out for each other. Fire, police. They tried this in Grafton. You know about the story in Grafton?
No.
Look up Grafton, Freetown, pedophiles and bears.
Oof, that's a search term. I mean,
Okay,
if
it's
I put
all
that
out
in,
there.
I don't know what I'm going to get. But
Well, you're going to be on a list.
Yeah.
But basically, they all moved to Grafton, and they dismantled the government there, and they got invaded by bears. because nobody was picking up the garbage. Nobody was fixing the roads.
That's insanity.
And then there were no laws there, so all the criminals and pedophiles moved there.
I was going to say, this sounds like Claremont, but theirs is a very different issue.
Very different issue, Claremont, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot about these little pockets.
Claremont is like, it's, you know, I don't know all the nuances of it, but I know that it's a testing ground for what these people are, these fake libertarians. I call them fake libertarians because they're not libertarians, and they're not real Republicans. They are theocratic, I hate to say it, fascist, because
I know it's
so like 80s.
It's a new buzzword.
It is. Well, it's like, I just remember the young ones on MTV, you know, the British show.
Oh yeah.
And when I was a young punk, we called authority fascists. I don't even know what they are. Theocrats. That's what I call them.
Yeah, I'm an atheist, and so when the religious people start coming in and start trying to tell me how to live and everything else, I just block it all out.
Yeah.
To me, just again, New England, I just need you to stay over there on your line. I'll be over here. If you need anything, holler, but I don't want to hear anything else. We used to have a social contract.
Yes, we did.
You know, where everybody,
and it was unspoken.
Yeah, you just got what you needed. There was no question about like, oh, you're short on, you know, on wages. You know, we can get you some SNAP benefits. We can get you help. We can get you so many different things. And then today, it's like everybody just wants to put everybody on a raft and push them out, you know, and just say, hey, good luck on that social contract over there. But we need a social like renegotiation again. It's the only way forward, you know, not just at the state, but other places too.
I wish we had the answers, because, you know, there are homeless encampments all over the place.
Yeah.
You don't see them because they push them all out into the woods. And you only hear about it when somebody dies or there's a little campfire or whatever. But unregulated capitalism or unchecked capitalism has done this.
Yeah, all the deregulation, all the billionaires buying everything.
And I love stuff. Yeah, I like money because it buys me stuff.
I've run small businesses. I've done
I have no issue with capitalism in theory and in practice, but unchecked capitalism. And the other big thing is, and I was talking about this before, how social media has done this to us, unregulated algorithms. These algorithms have no regulation whatsoever.
Right.
They're allowed to do whatever they want. That's why Zuckerberg, Bezos, and the rest of them were sitting on the dais when Orange Julius Caesar was getting sworn in.
Oh, they're going to get their pittance.
I don't think they are.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think they've made so much money. I mean, I think they give us enough to where we get like the headlines that it looks like they're not getting, but I mean, we still don't have laws on AI.
Yeah.
We have an individual that just copied every database the government has, killed every investigation against himself, and he's worth almost $1 trillion. That's insanity. Everything I just said, I would never, if you told me as a kid that I would say those words, that would be.
There's so many positives to where we are with technology right now.
Sure.
It's incredible. It's incredible. We can learn everything you would ever in history, music, art, literature, wars, famines, everything you would ever need to know about is literally a millisecond away.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to live in the libraries.
So is that indoctrination.
Right. And these algorithms have literally changed our behaviors. Jaron Lanier, he came up with the term virtual reality. He's one of the godfathers of the internet. He worked for Google, he worked for Facebook, he worked for all of them. He doesn't have any social media, and he doesn't call it social media. He calls it behavior modification empire.
That's actually probably a good way to put it.
Right? Because that's exactly what it has done to us. You know, if I was to be a preacher, and then funny, I was studying to go to seminary school when I was a teenager. I wanted to be a Baptist minister. And then I took some acid and realized that there is no God, that life is just a dream and we are all one. I would preach from the pulpit that the Antichrist is here. And that Antichrist is unregulated algorithms. Because they can do whatever they want. And they have done it. And they are manipulating all of us. And once we become conscious of this, once we become aware, and this is part of what religion is becoming self-aware. And this is what scares people about AI, is that the singularity, which means that computer or a program or whatever it is becomes self-aware, becomes conscious. It knows that it's alive and is able to make decisions on its own, not because it's programmed that way, because it becomes a living thing. And I don't buy into all this AI bullshit, because it's not artificial intelligence. It is written by human beings and created to do a certain thing. We programmed it to do that way. You'll impress me with AI when you can get the fucking traffic lights to work correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many things that it probably could do.
Right.
But those things I don't think will make them enough money. So
that's
they can't write the algorithm.
That's what it comes down to. That comes down to the unchecked capitalism. Like, how much money do you need?
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily agree with like, oh, you're only allowed to make a certain amount of money. I don't know what the answer is. I just know what's happening now is not working for me. It's not working for you, right?
No. I don't have a bank account that I can just go and buy an island in Hawaii,
right,
or something like that.
I have to regulate how much oil I can afford to buy so I can get groceries.
Yeah. Most Americans are in that situation. Yeah. And, like, I don't have a penis-shaped shuttle that I could just launch off and go into space.
I mean, I'll take 2.
Yeah, right. 2, please. Wait, at the end of the day, most people, they will never know what it's like to not live paycheck to paycheck because of the way America has been structured. I mean, it's been slowly eroding since like 1950s, right? Where one adult could go out and make enough money to run the whole household, right? And today, everybody in the family has to have a job or else, maybe even more jobs, which is so scary because we're living less and we're working more.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy for a population.
No, we should not be living to work.
Yeah.
We should be working to live.
Absolutely. We have such limited time here, and to think that it's being squandered away making somebody else money is insane too.
I'm happy to make my boss money. I'm happy to do that.
Sure.
But how about I make some money so I can live too?
Right. We can all.
There's no reason why we can't. There really isn't. No one has given me a legit reason or even a reason why we can't all, whether it's, I don't know, universal basic income, or I don't know what the answer is. I wish I did, because I wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Right. We'd be doing other things.
We wouldn't be doing this. We'd all be like living our lives and being happy and not worrying about the government coming to pull us out of our homes because we're brown or black or trans or a Democrat.
Yeah. I mean, now it just seems like if you're breathing, that's good enough reason to bust through your door, break the 4th Amendment, and take you out.
Yeah.
And, speaking of that,
I
just real quick, I want to add this because I just read it and I realized the implication. Now, so we do have ICE coming in New Hampshire. We talked.
They're in Somersworth. Right? They're in Dover.
They're doing their thing.
Portsmouth.
Something I hadn't considered until I saw this on Reddit this morning. There was somebody that was deported that was part of a heist, $100 million bank robbery or something like that, a jewelry robbery, whatever it was.
Pretty good haul.
Right. Huge, right? Yeah. They were being prosecuted for it, but they were released and ICE picked them up and deported them to Ecuador. And the prosecutors weren't aware. The judge wasn't aware. That person got away with $100 million heist and got sent to Ecuador, where we cannot prosecute or get back anything.
Well, at least they got a brown person.
They did. So we lost $100 million.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. And it's just, it dawned on me, this is what happens when you don't have due process.
Right.
You carelessly send people away that we still need.
They don't give a fuck.
That person could, oh my God, there's so many implications to this.
That is one.
Yeah.
Of how many?
And it only came out because it was such a huge amount of money. I mean, so imagine how many other people were in the process of being prosecuted for their crimes that got off scot-free because they got sent back to their country.
Yeah.
And the country doesn't care. They're not coming back because why would they? To get prosecuted? So essentially, we're letting the bad people go because of the racism.
Right.
That is crazy too.
Well,
It's outside of New Hampshire, but I wanted to share that with you while we were talking about
I mean, it's inherently racist. I don't think they're doing it because they're racist.
No.
They're doing it for power and money and all the ideology. Maybe they are. I mean, it seems racist. I mean, it is racist to me, but like
it is. And I know I'm giving it the whole racism, and you're right. There is so many different reasons for each power play, right? So each person is probably for. I'm always afraid because I ran for office,
right?
And I'm on a Democrat list. Like they're coming.
Same.
You know, like I know it's probably just paranoia, but
well, listen, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Well, the thing is, like they're in all these other cities. They're on their way.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time, right? Time and money for them to come and figure.
The problem is Maine is like, come into my yard, see what happens. Come to my house. You're gonna fuck around and find out. Because we're not like other states. You know, we have constitutional carry in New Hampshire. Like there are people in the state house, fellow reps that are carrying guns while they're there. I'm totally cool with that. In fact, I'm going to be doing the same thing.
Sure.
Because I need to protect myself from people who are going to come and kill me or come to drag me away because I'm a Democrat or because I'm trans or who knows, whatever reason it is. Right. Yeah.
I don't want this to sound like conspiracy theory, but I firmly believe this is done intentionally.
Yeah.
Right. Removing the idea that you have to get a warrant, you can just bust into somebody's house.
Yeah.
I think whoever's at the top, right? So in this case, it would be Bovino or something like that.
That's Trump ultimately.
But I'm just going to give it to Bovino for right now, or DHS, whatever.
Yeah.
They're hoping that I think ICE agents do get killed by busting into somebody's house so they can bring in the Insurrection Act,
right,
or something deeper.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, and that could happen here in New Hampshire.
It's not going to go the way they think it's going to go. That's the thing. Like, if that happens, and it's going to happen, and they bring in the military are our neighbors. You know,
I always say that, but being that I served with a lot, like, there are some scary people in
absolutely, but also, I don't know. I know history, and you're not going to put down an insurgency. It just doesn't work.
It's too many people.
There's too many people. There's hundreds of millions of more people in this country than there are in Iraq.
And this country is
Afghanistan.
Huge.
It's huge. All you have to do is look at Iraq and Afghanistan. It didn't work. It's not going to work. Right. You know what's going to work? Regulating capitalism, regulating algorithms, giving people a living wage. I hear affordable housing, and I 100% agree. But you also need affordable jobs to pay for that housing.
Yeah.
You know, housing costs have skyrocketed. Wages have not. Last 5 years, they've gone up significantly. Not significantly, but they've gone up. They need to go up more. But there's this weird indoctrinated ideology. They say, you know, oh, you're queer, you push all your, shoving it down our throats. I'm like, no, man, I just want to live my life and be left alone.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to go out and not worried about somebody shooting me in the face because, you know, I look different, whether it's being trans or whether I had a different haircut than you. I hope, you know, Anne Frank said, you know, I believe that people are good at heart, and then they killed her. I just hope that, especially in New England, you know, the heart of the revolution.
I know, right? Started right
here. In New Hampshire too. You know, Paul Revere and there's a few others. I just hope that we'll get our squirrel rifles out, because you know that war was started by farmers with squirrel rifles against the biggest power in the world, the biggest military in the world. And they said, you can't fight the British. Well, we did. And it was an insurgency, and they won.
I worry that we don't have the same resolve. And I'm not saying just New Hampshire, but across the board, just as an American, because we all need to pay our bills. We all need health care. We all need these things.
But when they're killing your neighbors and your friends and family, bills don't matter. That's when community comes together and realizes, like, look, you know, we have to take care of our community. And I'm seeing it happen now. on a level. I don't want to go into it, but because
that's okay.
I don't want to put myself in
Sure.
the crosshairs more than I already am, and other people in the crosshairs. But there is a large community out there of people who really give a fuck. You know, my partner works in a nonprofit healthcare, and they have trucks that literally go out to encampments and give free dental care and free health care to people living in the woods.
They need that.
Yeah.
They need so much.
More than ever. You know, I work with people at Gather. Some of my former students are running Gather now. They literally bring tons of food to people who don't get enough food. Real food too, like good food.
Those are great Americans.
You know, I think they are above the idea what of an American is. You know, they're just fellow human beings, you know, on this big blue rock floating through space.
Yeah.
You know, like we know that our time is limited. We know that, you know, other people is what makes us human beings and makes us love is other people.
When I die, I want people to say about me, that was a good dude.
Yeah.
He did stuff for other people, you know, and I think other people feel this way about themselves, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe some people don't care about their legacy.
No, they care about their legacy. You know, they want to spread their sperm, or, oh, that was the richest person in history, and they're going to write about that person forever.
No,
man.
You maybe get one, maybe two generations,
Yeah.
unless you were somebody that was like,
sure, like David Bowie,
it's somebody that really stood out, and there's so few human beings. I mean, if people thought it was hard to get to like major league, whatever, it's even harder to get to notoriety in history.
I just want to make a difference now. When I'm dead, I don't give a fuck.
Because you can't do anything.
Dead, I'm gone. Know. Bye.
I won't know when I'm dead.
Good luck.
Right. I'm
trying to do the best I can now and live the most authentic life possible. When it comes to my work as an artist, it is so important to me that it comes from an authentic place. Because, there really isn't anything that's original now, but coming from an honest place. Like I made a living as an actor. I was a member of the Actors Union for 20 years. When you play a part as an actor, and you might see this as a fan of movies, you like movies and TV and stuff like that.
I actually don't watch TV, and I hate watching movies.
Okay, well, no, that's fair. That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah,
especially from an ADHD. I didn't mean to label you as
no, it's okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, it's totally fair. It's funny that you can have this conversation for an hour or whatever it is, but you can't sit through a movie. It's just funny.
It's true. I think it's because we're bouncing between topics, and it's easier for my brain to get reinterested.
Whatever, man.
Every sentence,
This is what's great about being in America. We can decide, you know what? I don't like movies.
Yeah.
But when you watch something, right, as a fan of movies and TV, as I am, if that actor doesn't play that role from an honest place, right, you have to play it for truth. If you don't play it for truth, the audience is not going to believe you. They're going to say that's a bad performance.
That authenticity is so important.
Right. You got to kind of lock into that character. I mean, you're always Adam. You're never another character.
Sure.
But telling stories, right? When you tell a story and it comes from a place of honesty and truth and care and compassion and understanding, people are swept away.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're swept away into that story. And a lot of times they'll put themselves in that role, right? If that doesn't come from an honest place, people aren't going to buy it. And they're not going to buy it from like conversation like this.
Sure.
That's
the biggest thing. Reason why when I made this podcast, right, I'll just do this for a second here, but when I made this, I had to think about exactly that topic. Like, how do I sit down with somebody and flesh out the stuff that people is interested in,
right.
And I think it's just by getting everything else out the way. That's why there's not like a huge flashy background.
Right.
It's about the conversation first.
Sure.
It's about the person first. And so I agree with you, right? Because if we were just, you know, I don't know, just telling stories, just tell stories, I think the connection wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the whole reason why podcasts like Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
though I don't watch it.
Yeah.
I think that's how he did come up, and podcasts like him, right?
Yeah.
Because there is a certain level of authenticity. Maybe
Absolutely.
not today.
Oh no, Joe is definitely an authentic person in his way. I mean, he comes from a legacy of podcasters. I was a big Mark Maron fan, still a big Mark Maron fan. I think they started about the same time.
Yep.
And Mark Maron had the biggest listenership at one point. He was the biggest podcaster there was. He's done now. I don't know if you know. You ever listen to his podcast?
Yeah. Well, I never listened to Mark's podcast.
Yeah, so
just
good.
Because I just don't have a lot of that time. But I
do a lot of driving, so
I've seen the drama between him and Rogan.
Yeah.
And
well, you have this like deeply empathetic, like comedian, and a really good comedian, and a really like just a cool guy.
Yeah.
You know, down to earth, funny, snarky. And then you have this like bro. And I always found it kind of gay. You know? And I mean that in an authentic way. You know, I'm queer as fuck. So I think I can say that.
Yeah.
I see the fighters and you know, all the bros and I don't know, it's all like very manly, which I have no issue with. But it's very homoerotic. You know, like, you guys know how gay this really is.
Oh,
you know, like,
when you look through it through that lens,
yeah,
it's incredible.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just a different audience,
right? Well, and also like, it's kind of fake masculinity. A lot of it's fake masculinity. It's this like, this is what a man is. I'm like, no, that's what a douchebag man is.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, did you see a lot of these podcast bros right now are trying to peddle testosterone? They're telling young men that they're not manly enough and they should go get their testosterone checked.
Do you know what that's called?
No.
Gender affirming care.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
No.
With that. No, you're right. You're right.
And I support it 100%.
Right.
100%.
As long as it's not toxic.
No, it's
like done correctly.
Yeah.
You know,
health, like I get my blood work done every 3 months.
I was going to say, I believe
it's all regulated, you know, it saved my life. And if testosterone is going to save a young man's life or an old man's life, by all means.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. You know, that's why I was sitting in a group in the State House around a lot of money and a lot of men in $1,000 suits. And here I am, like, I've made it.
Yeah, I'm just a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And jeans guy.
I made it my mission to wear band t-shirts from like my band and from other bands and other people, other indie businesses in the state, just because, you know, they all look stupid if you ask me. But
with the suits,
and they're not like, a lot of them are ill-fitting, wrinkled.
Yep.
Some of them really nice suits. It's not for me. You know, even like, you know, maybe when it gets warmer, I'll wear a dress, but like, you know, I'm a punk rocker, so I kind of lean more into that. But the guy next to me, he's a really sweet guy, really, really smart. He was making a comment about one of the Republican state reps and how when his toupee, when he turned to look one way, his toupee went the other. Right. And I was like, all right, that's funny, but also like, we shouldn't pick on people's appearance like that. You know, come on.
Yeah. I mean, said, help the guy out and be like, hey man,
your wig's fucked up.
Like just...
but I said that toupee is gender affirming.
Yep.
You know that. And he laughed. I said, no, that's not a joke. That, you know, you have been duped just like everybody else what gender affirmation is. Because gender is not sex. That's
right.
Something completely different.
Very different.
Gender is a construct, right? Sex is biological. You know, my sex when I was born was male.
Yeah.
That's my sex now. Kinda. It's a little muddy now, but I said to him, I said, see the suit you're wearing? I said, that's gender affirming. He's like, no, it's not. You're wearing a man suit. It's tailored for a man. Your haircut is a manly haircut. He's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I said, that's gender affirming care. How can you not understand that? Because we had this long conversation about it. And at one moment in the conversation, his eyes kind of like dawn breaking on Marblehead, like, oh shit. Like, wow, all right. It makes sense now. But I'm not going to go out and get a dress. I'm like, well, that's because you're a man.
Why would you go get
You're
a
a
dress?
man. You're like you identify, or this is who you are.
So many people miss that. Like, even if you go get hair plugs, if you're a bald, gentleman like myself, that is gender affirming care. And so I agree. We've been told that we should be against that because nobody understands what that is. And these are huge buzzwords. So I hope that people will come around and see that for what it really is and wake up, and be like, oh.
I hope that people go, I don't give a fuck, live your life.
Oh, that'd be nice too.
I don't really give a shit if people get me. Because honestly,
I agree with that.
You're missing out if you don't get me. You are. I'm a fun person. I'm a great performer.
I've seen you perform.
I love performing. I love hanging out. I love bullshitting like this.
Yep.
Like I'm a good time. But if you don't like me because of this, then fuck off. Like, go away. Don't come at me and say you have to dress this way. You have to be this way.
I couldn't even imagine caring enough to tell people or think that, this is my first time meeting you.
Sure. Same.
And so I agree. They're missing out. We've had a great conversation since you walked in the door.
I bet you didn't expect this, right?
Actually, I kind of did.
All right, good. All right.
Only a little bit because I saw you perform.
Yeah.
I saw you do the stump speech for John Kuiper. And
a couple drinks.
And I was like, okay, this is somebody I would love to talk to.
Awesome.
And when you said I'd be interested in talking, I was like, oh, this is my opportunity.
I love bullshit. Yeah, for real.
I love meeting people. I love discovering what other people are into or what they're about, or just the marketplace of ideas.
Yep.
Being able to sit down and talk with people like this is so freeing. Underneath any other circumstance, I would have met you at maybe a political event or something like this, but this is very eye opening.
And this is existential as fuck too. Like, one great thing about the ADHD brain is it just kind of pushes itself into existentialism and really digging into all those thoughts and feelings and the synapses going off. We can stream of conscious bounce back and forth on things, but ultimately it all comes down to, how do we, if we're talking politics and even just life, how do we live our lives without hurting other people and helping people if we can? And to me, if we go back to theocracy, you take theocracy out of it, you keep Jesus in it. Everything that I believe in is based on, caring about my family and my friends and my neighbors and people I don't know. I can't tell you how many times I'm the type of person when there's danger, I run towards it.
Yeah, me too.
And people in my circle like, Bill, you got to stop. You're going to get killed. I'm like, well, I know, but I can't help it because I want to protect people because I know what it means to be vulnerable. I know what it means to be hurt and attacked. I was a tiny little kid. I was the girliest kid, growing up. I was beat up all the time. And I know what it feels like to be helpless. I know what it feels like to feel alone. Yeah. And I don't want anyone to feel that. And the problem is a lot of people don't have that empathy. A lot of people don't have that inner monologue. I learned that recently.
I did too. Actually,
it blows my mind.
In the last 12 months, I did not know that other people don't have that monologue.
I have like 5 people in there.
I could go sit on the couch for 5 hours and have all kinds of conversations in my head.
Yeah.
I can reflect on my day at the end.
Yeah. Well, then there's the anxiety that kicks in. That's like, oh, I said that 10 years ago. I can't believe I said that.
I know.
Like, what am I doing to myself right now?
I know. If this ever blows up and people are going to go into my history and be like, look how bad this guy is, for whatever.
Yeah.
I
think that comes from an empathetic place and a thoughtful. Empathy is thrown around a lot, but I think thoughtful is a good word to use because you're thinking of other people.
I'm always so scared because of my ADHD that I'm not being thoughtful to somebody,
Yeah, but
you know.
that's the bad side of ADHD.
Well,
because you're wrong.
Even the last 3 days, you know, previous to you coming over here for this, I just kept on running through my head. I'm like, oh, how am I going to start the podcast? What questions am I going to ask? And all this stuff. And I used to do this. I told you I was a Twitch streamer.
Right.
I used to do this before. Twitch. Yeah. Twitch it all over the place. Yeah. I used to come down. I run downstairs. It'd be like 9:30 in the morning. My stream always started at 10 a.m. and it always ended between 2 and 3 p.m.
Right.
And I would, the night before, go through my thoughts like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? But as somebody with ADHD, something I've learned in the last 6 years that I'm still not comfortable with is my best content was always random. Yeah. Like I never, and even for this, I thought about all the questions I could have asked you and ran through the entire podcast in my head and all the scenarios. And then I just thought to myself, stop.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Let the content find itself.
Yeah. That's stream of consciousness. All the questions you already have in your head.
I know, but I'm so nervous of the performance
because you want to do a good job.
Yeah.
You want to, yeah. That's an anxiety. That's insecurity. But
it also is what makes me better.
Yeah, sure.
Because it pushes me, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I love stream of consciousness. It's how I write. You know, a lot of times I'll have a thought, a word. It'll be a prompt. And
is this when you're writing music?
Or I write scripts. I write. I've had shows produced all over New England and New York, and a lot of the writing. You know, one of my favorite writers, Martin McDonough, he did 2 billboards outside of. I can't remember the name of it. Did Pillow Man. He did The Cripple of Inishmaan. Irish writer. He's the only Irish playwright, or the only other playwright to have 4 plays running in the West End since Shakespeare.
Wow.
Yeah. Tony's, Oscars. Guy's incredible. He says that, I generally have characters in mind, but I don't have a treatment. I don't do a layout. I don't do anything. I just write and let the characters talk to me and I talk to them. And that's kind of how I write. I'll have an idea and then sometimes like, this is where we're going. No, we're going this way now because the characters are taking me that way. And that's stream of consciousness writing. I don't know if I could do that as a novelist. Like I've never written a book.
You've never tried?
No. People have asked me to.
I've tried 3 times.
Yeah.
Never.
I need, I have an incredible community around me. And I'm a part of as well. But it takes a lot to manage this.
I mean,
just living. I'm not talking about art or anything. But I do really well with structure. I do really well with direction. So if you were to sit me down and say, this is what we're doing today, I'd fight hard against it, but I'd be like, okay, we'll get something done.
We'll get through this.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've learned in my old age is incrementalism. Just like our politics, things happen in increments. The universe is long and dark and it curves, and it takes time to get through it, but you can't just go through it. You're not just going to get it done. You have to take little steps towards that. And that's something that I've learned is like, I don't have to finish the book today. I can just write 5 sentences. You got it done. Move on. Or write more. A lot of times when I'm writing, it takes a long time to get there. Like I usually need like a year if I'm working on a project. Like we're going to do the show in a year. All right, well, that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Until
it's just enough time. Yeah. No, I mean,
you do?
I do. Yeah.
I struggle.
There's been moments where, this is practice. This takes practice. It's not something you're going to just do. I've been at the deadline, but I work really well with the deadline. Right. Sometimes I could sit down and write a song in 10 minutes. Some of my best songs were written in 10 minutes. Just because it just flowed out. I had an idea, I had a melody, I had all that, and it just comes out.
People that do that are just so incredible to me.
Well, that doesn't happen all the time.
No, I know, but like
Bitter Pill has a record of 30 songs that are unfinished.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something I've learned in my old age is some things don't need to be fixed.
Correct.
And that took
Just go with it.
Yeah, it took me a long time to be okay with some of my features.
Yeah.
You know, because as a kid, my mother used to listen to like Zig Ziglar in the car.
Geez.
And just the whole, like, she would pack like all 12 cassette tapes, and you just listen to like How to Make Yourself Better.
Yeah. Zig Ziglar. I remember that in that dog days.
Right. You know, Tony Robinson and all those guys that used to crank out the cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And so growing up, I always thought like I had to strive to be perfect. I needed everything to be scripted. I needed guidance. I needed somebody to tell me like, hey, you look good, you know, or something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm okay just the way I am.
I think you're okay.
Yeah, I think you're okay.
I think you're pretty okay. You know, and art, they say that perfection is the enemy of done.
Oh, that's, yeah.
You gotta finish it.
You gotta
finish. If it sucks, it sucks. Move on to the next shitty thing.
Yeah.
You know, make the thing.
I think that was the hardest thing I've had to learn.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've had your own set of things, but yeah.
Especially in the military, like, you can't be perfect in the military. It's just not possible.
I struggled so hard because they had a perception of what I was supposed to be.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times I was taken aside by my supervisor and asked, like, why are you here?
Right.
Like, you don't do well with authority.
Right.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, you should really think about getting out of the military. And I could never accept that.
Yeah.
And so I had to finish it.
That's great though. That it motivated you, you know?
You know, sometimes I wonder though, and I wonder if my life could have been wildly better.
Yeah, fuck what it coulda, shoulda, man.
I know.
For real.
This is
the enemy.
problem.
The enemy.
I know.
The enemy of your own mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I know this now. But sometimes, you know, I think to myself too, and this is dangerous. I'm so jealous of people that grew up and they just stayed where they were, you know.
How boring is that though?
I don't know if that's boring though.
I think it is.
Because like I think to myself, what if I had stayed in Connecticut? What if I had, you know, opened up my own salon? What if I had it's a bunch of what ifs, right?
Man?
And now because I've moved so many times in my life, I never want to sit still. Even when I moved to New Hampshire, I struggled the first few years. I kept on thinking, where am I going next?
Right.
Instead of putting down anchors. And that's something I'm okay with now.
But you can take that, here I am being a therapist.
It's okay.
You can take that what you're feeling is not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? It's not incorrect. It's not bad. It's just a matter of focusing, you know, I need to be somewhere else. Focusing that on something that brings you somewhere else. It doesn't mean you physically have to go there. Maybe it is. Maybe it's, I need to go here and here and here. Because those feelings are attached. You've attached those feelings. This is me analyzing you. You've attached those feelings to physically moving to different places on the planet and being in different places. But you can redirect that because those aren't bad things. That's what makes you who you are.
Right.
So how do you refocus that? I don't know the answer to it, but use that. You know, in theater and in music, when you make a mistake, don't stop and go, oh my God, I made a mistake. No, the song is moving forward with or without you. We're not going to stop.
Right.
So you have to figure out where am I going to fit in this as we move forward? Move on from this mistake. No one's going to remember that. You know, especially in the military too, because like if you're in the middle of whatever, maybe say you're on the ground fighting.
Yep.
Something happens, you lose part of your platoon, or you know, your ammo gets all blown up. What are you going to do? Just stop there and cry? No, you have to improvise in the moment and say, okay, we need to move to the next thing. We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm a logistical person, so I'm always analyzing what's coming next.
Yeah, and like, we call that, well, military guys, women, whatever,
right.
We adapt and overcome.
Yes.
And
it's the same thing with music.
Yeah.
Like,
I would imagine,
shit, we made a mistake, adapt, move on. Fix it.
That probably happens quite frequently.
Every single time.
Really?
Every single time.
But I bet you the audience never even like knows.
Right.
You know?
They don't care. Because they're in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And being an artist and in the performing artist specifically, you're in the moment and you make a mistake, big deal. I know how the song goes. I know where I'm supposed to be. Oh shit. You know, it happened last night.
Yeah.
Everybody in the band last night made mistakes, but it was like,
probably still had a great night.
we did, but like I remember in one particular moment, the last song, I don't know whether it was me or somebody else, but it kind of got jumbled. And I was standing there like, oh, this is kind of beautiful.
It's like a remix.
Yeah, it was like, we're all not sure what's going to happen or where we are, but we're all in the same place at the same time, and we all have each other's backs, and we're going to continue. We're going to overcome this. You know, we're going to adapt it, and it's instant. And I can't even imagine. I can't even put myself in the place of a soldier in the heat of the moment with a gun in their hand, defending their buddies. I can't even imagine how to adapt. I feel like, you know, the way my brain works is I would be right there with you, 100%, and being able to adapt immediately. And training helps, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with playing music. The training I have supports what I will do in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of training.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much training.
Yeah.
Everything from how do you handle, you know, your battle buddy just got shot? How do you, you know, how do you close up that wound and move on? You know, how do you carry this person off the battlefield? There's so much.
All the training
you know,
kicks in. And,
chem warfare.
Yeah.
You know, how do you? Yeah, there's so much that goes with it.
It's funny we're talking about the military now because like I got into it on Chuck Grassie's page with somebody defending my friend Andrew. I was telling you about this earlier when you made me some coffee.
Yeah.
And these people, you want to talk about inauthentic and unoriginal. This guy is just like, oh, I'm going to get to another part of this. Oh, I thought the left, you know, oh, here's a tolerant left. I'm like, no, motherfucker, I am not tolerant. I don't know where you got it. I know where he got it. But they repeat the same things. They parrot the same things. Like, you think this works? Like, you really think it? And then, you know, I was talking about defending. He was going after my friend Andrew, who is Chuck Grassie's son. And I said, because he, you know, chimed in with a very logical response to this guy, and an informed response. This guy's like, oh, it comes from the intelligence officer. What are you, the intelligence officer of Rochester? No, or something like that. And I usually don't chime in on these things, but I love Andrew. He's a war vet. He's a hard die in the wool American. I have so much admiration for him, and he's super smart. And I said something to the effect of, you know, who are you? This guy is a, you know, war vet, stand-up dude, well-informed, show some fucking respect.
Yeah.
You know, and then he chimes in with Trump this, Trump that. I'm like, I didn't say anything about Trump, but I had Trump derangement syndrome and all that.
I'm like, yes.
I'm like, dude, he actually literally said TDS. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't bring up Trump, man. You did.
Yeah, you're living in the Trump world.
I said, I'm defending my friend here. And then, of course, he's like, oh, you're coming to save the day. You love all men and the military. I thought you leftists hate the military. I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
Most of my friends have served or are serving. You know, I'm Gen X. I'm in my 50s.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost friends. I've lost most of the friends that I've lost to suicide were military.
Same.
Every year, Adam.
Yeah.
Every year I can't remember how many there are now. There was one year I lost 3 friends to suicide. These are military people.
Yeah.
People I loved. And this guy, I said, what have you done? And he couldn't say anything. What have you done for your community? And then he chimes in with like, what have you done? And I'm like, I asked you the question first.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
You can look me up, bitch.
Right.
What have I done? Then he calls me an angry lesbian. And I was like, thank you. Like, that's an insult? You just affirmed how my gender. Thank you.
Right.
Like,
there's so much of that. When I went canvassing, you know, for not just me, but for other people,
right.
You know, for some reason, if you're not a Democrat or you're not a left wing person, you have this idea in your head that everybody has purple and blue hair and everybody's like the soft, like
Yeah.
I used to knock on people's doors and they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm with the, blah, blah, blah. I'm with the
Right.
Democrats." They're like, "Oh, what, you little weenies, you don't have guns." They always had the
I
prejudgment.
love that they think the left doesn't have guns.
Like, to me, it's just,
That's hilarious.
I know I'd say that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the left owns a lot of guns too, right? Like, it's,
especially a hardcore left, because there's not a big difference between hardcore left and hardcore right.
Yeah.
When it comes to defense and
oh no, absolutely. I served with some of the most progressive people I have ever met in my entire life, and they are absolute gun nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, myself kind of included.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not a gun nut, but
I'm not a gun nut, but
I love shooting guns is fun.
I can field strip a weapon, any weapon you want. And
I don't think I can
just a couple minutes and clean it out and like do all that stuff. Like,
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
For me, like I was like old guns.
Yeah.
30-06 and
those are fun too.
22 is
yeah, I got all my
not a lot of hand
ribbons.
It wasn't handguns weren't really a big thing when I was growing up.
I like rifles.
Yeah, long gun. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with taking an M9 down the range a little bit.
Yeah, but you can't aim the goddamn
It's
thing.
not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the same with the shotgun too. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
You'll hit everything.
Yeah.
If you're in the general direction.
Well, it depends on the slug, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
the spread and stuff like that. But
the bird shot or
the thought that I'm some softy because I vote for people in their rights and taking care of people it's
absurd.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
I'm
a huge softy. I'm a cuddly, snuggly,
me too,
loving person. But come into my house, I'll shoot you in your face.
100%. 100%. If you breach that door, I'm not sure we're all making it out of here.
You don't even need to breach the door.
Yeah.
Like, you can be a threat.
Yeah.
We have New Hampshire is one of the few that has the castle and stand your ground rules.
Yeah, I'll defend my home, my family to the absolute.
You don't have to just come. You can come on my property and make a threat.
You could probably make it pretty far before I notice you, unless I'm like right by the window. But I just think those kind of stereotypes are dangerous for so many different.
Well, I think
reasons.
it's dangerous to people who think that we don't have guns.
Yes. Like I always hear, like the Civil War, it's gonna come, and like. Hold on now.
Yeah. That's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely.
They're going to come for our guns. I've said this over and over and over again. They're already trying to pass legislation now to take guns away from trans people. And the NRA is like, no. And I never in my life thought that I would stand side by side with the NRA.
I know. I'm with you on that too.
And it has little to do with guns. It has to do with the type of people who were running the NRA. Literally, like, they weren't gun nuts. They were fascists who hate other people that don't think like them.
Well, that, and they just want the money.
Yes.
It did in the last NRA. What's his name? John La something.
Yeah.
Didn't he like get kicked out for like fraud and embezzlement and stuff?
There's only what 2 million members or something, like 3 million members.
It's not as big as you would think.
Yeah.
You see all the stickers on the back of the cars.
Well, that was all marketing for their thing. But they come for trans people with guns. They're coming for everybody.
Yes.
They don't want an armed populace. And this comes all the way back to what we were talking about education before. They don't want an educated, well-informed, armed populace. They want obedient workers. They want soldiers to send to other countries to fight for the interest of billionaires.
Yes.
Not for the interests of everyday working Americans. That the reason why I support the military so much is because I grew up in a family. My dad was a Vietnam vet. He fought for his whole life to get the benefits. He was in an airplane flying reconnaissance over the jungles of Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam. No self-defense. They would shoot at his planes, and he would tell them where they are, and they'd go bomb them. He was exposed to Agent Orange and all kinds of other things. Got really sick. Lost one of his testicles because of it. He got testicular cancer.
Jesus.
Yeah, and fought his whole life to get the benefits that he fought for, that he watched, friends get killed for, and he almost got killed for. comes back to this country, and they just wouldn't give him his benefits. Finally, not many years before he died, he got the benefits to help pay for his heart surgery and his cancer, and he never would take therapy, though he really needed it.
He's not alone in that.
I know
there's so many.
We just talked about the soldiers were losing to suicide. To think that people like me don't care about military is just, it's stupid. You're a fucking moron. You're listening to the algorithms. You're listening to Twitter and Truth Social and Facebook and all of them. They're telling you what to think.
Yeah.
These billionaires and these corporations, it's something I fought with some people in my family about, because they want to be wealthy. These corporations, these billionaires, they don't see people like you and me as poor or working class. They see us either as people who haven't made their first million yet, or failed millionaires. That's how they see us, because they live in such privilege, and none of these people earned this.
Well, not only that, but I mean, we grew up reasonably in the same decades. Growing up and just being told everywhere, whether it was in church or school or at the job, like, if you're not hustling, like, if you're not doing this, this, and this, you're never going to be somebody. Or like, hey, everybody can be rich. Everybody can get in on this. Like, you just have to work hard, and it's not a meritocracy.
It's not a meritocracy. No,
it's not. It's about who you know, the connections you were born with.
That's the way it's always
generational wealth.
Yep.
And the rest of us are nobodies.
Yeah.
We are there to
serve them.
Yes. And that's exactly it. And this is why I have a big problem with billionaires. I've done so many videos.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started.
They shouldn't exist.
We've already started.
This is where I definitely agree with like AOC and Bernie. Billionaires shouldn't exist. Yeah. It's that simple.
Not when we have communities living in the woods in tents in the dead of winter.
No, it's bananas.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's so many people here that are suffering, that don't need to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's an easy fix, honestly. But people are so, I don't think it's people. I think the people in charge are so powerful. And especially now with the algorithms, like, it's so easy to manipulate us. And they're now testing AI videos on these social media platforms. I see them. People are sharing them with me. Look what happened in Minnesota today. I'm like, that's not a real video.
Right. And that's a whole different can of worms.
It's not
AI
a real video.
Making these fake videos.
It's not AI making them. It's people making them.
True. I don't know how we overcome this. Like, AI is already terrible, and I'm dead set against it. But to fabricate, things that didn't take place, and then most people, again, don't have the critical thinking to be able to say, "Oh, that's AI. I don't have to worry about that." And that's not good for our communities at all.
Well, it's going to get to the point where they're not obviously AI.
Oh, it's good. Like, right now, you can kind of tell if you zoom in and you see the text is all wavy, or
but I can tell. I can tell.
But we've gotten
my analytical skills, like from directing, and
sure.
You have to pay attention to every little thing. I'm just able to tell, and just the way people talk. Eventually it's going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Oh, we're probably only like a year away.
That's dangerous. That's not AI.
That stuff's going to be used as evidence against people.
All it is a computer program. It's an algorithm. It's zeros and ones. It's binary code. We don't need to worry about the singularity. Yeah. We need to worry about people controlling us via these algorithms. It's frightening. There's a short story, literally like I don't know, not even a page.
Yeah,
it was written, I think, the 40s, 50s. I bring it up to tell you exactly who it was, but it's science fiction, and literally the story is these engineers created a supercomputer the size of a planet, and they're going to turn it on. They turn it on, and thunder and lightning and bolts, and the thing pops up, and it says, what can I do for you? Two engineers look at each other and say, what do we ask it? We can ask it anything. It knows everything. what do we ask it? And it says, I got it. Types in, is there a God? And the computer instantly responds with, there is now.
I see. There's a YouTube video that is very similar to that, and it keeps going up in scale through the cosmics. And, the idea is so haunting to me of like where we go.
Yeah. The Matrix is real.
Yeah. It's super.
They talk about the red and blue pill, man. You know,
yeah. This has been just an incredible like journey with you. And I know we didn't even like get into like
getting to know you. Like,
same. We didn't get into bills. We didn't get into that, but we can do this again. And I'm hoping that people will enjoy this.
Yeah.
What an eye-opening experience to talk to somebody that not only is in our community, but also in the legislature.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up though, I want people to be able to discover you, you know, for the first time, perhaps, you know, you have a band named Bitter Pill.
Yep.
You've been playing music for 10. Well, in this case,
this
band, the band for 10.
We're at bitterpillband.com. We're on all the socials. We're on Spotify, all the streamers and the beamers. 10 years now, 3 albums. My daughter is a lead singer. We share writing and singing. We both, it happened by accident. You know, it wasn't something I had planned or she had planned.
It has to be so rewarding.
I can't even begin to tell you. It's the greatest, aside from like being her parent, being her father, that'll never change. That's a conversation we've had.
Yeah.
Like when I came out to her, she was just like, so, and I spent 1.5 years in therapy just to come out to her. And she's like, so, what do you want me to call you? And I was like, I'm still your father. I'll always be your dad. That's not going to change. Right.
People that love you, truly love you, will never turn their back on you.
No. And they don't give a shit.
No.
As long as you're healthy and, you know, take care of yourself and you're, not a shitty person.
Yeah.
And she's amazing. She works for an organization, helping get unhoused teens off the street and into homes and apartments. Yeah. So
just a whole family of great people.
It's pretty badass. I didn't do that on purpose, but playing music with her and singing, they call it blood harmony. When you sing together, it sounds different than other people harmonizing. And she's not trained. I'm a trained singer and performer. It just came naturally to her because she was around me her whole life, and I dragged her to things. I worked for Ringling Brothers and lived on a mile-long train, so she came on that across the country. I toured, played the Kennedy Center.
Really?
She was there for a month when I was in DC. But that it's incredible. It's hard to really describe the feeling I get, not just as a parent, but like as a fellow artist. I have such an admiration for her as an artist. I'm a big fan of art,
and she's fantastic too.
You don't even know the half of it.
Oh, probably not. I mean, I was only exposed to maybe an hour.
Right. Not even. It was like, I think we did like a 20-minute set.
Yeah, that's probably true. I was just so into it.
She's incredible. She's an incredible writer, an incredible singer, and I'm just such in awe of her. And as family and as a bandmate, like you combine those two things, it's so beautiful. It's, of all the things I've done in my life, aside from being her parent, like it is the greatest thing I've ever done. And I've done some really incredible things in my career. Nothing will be able to even compare. Like if I won an Oscar or, a Grammy or became a world superstar, it's not going to compare standing on stage with her at that little event we did even, and belting out a few songs that we created together, sing together. It's so beautiful. Think of all the beautiful things you've done with your children,
Oh, absolutely.
How can anything compare?
I have 5 kids and so
small Irish family.
Yeah. Small Irish family.
That's my family.
Being able to like enjoy their different aspects. Like some are super artistic,
right?
Some are talented in other ways.
Yeah.
It's a connection that I can't describe, but much like what you're saying,
right?
And it's something I cherish.
Same. And like, there are other people in my life that I have the same feeling towards, that are not family, that are chosen family.
Yeah.
And it's the same feeling, because it's a feeling of being vulnerable. It's a feeling of admiration, and like why are we here? Who fucking cares? These are the moments I live for. The moments with the people I love and care about. That's the point, right?
It's the whole reason why I get up every single day. Like at the end of the day, being able to sit down with my kids when they come back from work or school or whatever it is, and just being around them, that energy for me is enough to get me to wake up tomorrow too,
Yeah.
Where can people find you in particular besides?
I'm on all the socials too. Billie Butler, IE.
And there'll be links down below. I'll make sure, that everybody can
I have a Facebook page that I've had forever, and that's pretty much where I post everything. Though I'm on TikTok as well, and Instagram. I'm pretty much an Instagram and Facebook whore. But I'm on pretty much all the socials. I'm not on Twitter. I do have a Twitter troll page where I just kind of, not troll, but like doom scroll page. So I can just look at things. Billy, you need to look at this.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's still stuff that we have to see on there. So
yeah,
it's
such a shame. I love Twitter because, the original Twitter, because I wrote this show called Gay Bride of Frankenstein. It's a rock musical, brought it to New York City. Has a cult following, and Twitter was a year old at that point, and it was called Twittergate because it was all union. Actors Equity, the casting agents, the directors union, all that.
Yep.
And there was a young casting director, and I liked her because she's 23 years old. She started her own company. I was like, this bitch is, she's doing it in New York City.
Right.
Well, she was tweeting during auditions, right? This union actors, right? Broadway actors. And it got out, and it exploded.
Oh.
I was on the front page of the New York Times art section. I was smeared in the New York Post. Like, it was a huge deal, but it helped sell my show out.
Well, then it had an end.
Right?
I think that's good.
Right? And I was like, wow, this is really, what a cool platform this is.
And powerful.
Yeah. And it was, I think, about the same age as Facebook at that point. And I kind of like latched onto it, and I had an account, and like anytime you needed to know anything, it was right there. 140 characters, 120 characters, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I'm not on it anymore. Not in any real capacity. But Instagram, I can't. I think it's Butler Billy.
Okay.
No, Billy Lady.
Okay.
I think on Instagram.
Well,
I'll send you all the stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some links in the description. Well,
but I got a show coming up in Newmarket.
Okay.
Bitter Pill is producing it. We produce theater shows as well. We're doing William Shakespeare's Richard III.
Oh.
Which is about a tyrant.
When is this?
It opens in April.
I might have to come out and take a look.
You should. We've cut a lot of it. It's usually like a 4-hour play.
Yeah.
We got it down to an hour and 50 minutes, I think. Tomer, you saw at Kuiper's event, is playing Richard. It's a brutal play. Like I don't know, 8 or 10 murders in it. About family, monarchies, war.
Sounds like an absolute mess that I want to see.
I mean, it's definitely appropriate for the time period. And we got some shows lined up, but nothing firm yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you, man.
I so appreciate it. I hope we can do it again.
Sure, absolutely.
So, all right.
Let's make it like a standing date.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one, I hope.
Thank you, Adam.
All right.
Right on.
Thank you.